Hello everyone. At this time of COVID-19 pandemic, I just want to share with you the article that I wrote 20 years ago. Every now and then I always read this article and for some reason it still gives me comfort whenever I am down. It's called Interruptions. All of us have our own interests on different things. Some guys may even leave their friends for basketball. Some girls can read a pocketbook in a day. Some can be seated on their chair or sofa or couch watching TV the whole time or the whole day. Some may be concentrating on their studies or their work. Some are enjoying their beds, taking the opportunity to take a nap, get some rest. Some may be very much involved in their church's ministry. In these areas, when sometimes you need full concentration, how would you feel if you are interrupted? How would you feel if you are at the peak of your Christian life, then suddenly a big crisis came into your life? Right now, we have a pandemic, COVID-19. How would you feel if you're on fire when suddenly a friend splashed a cold water on your fire? How would you feel if you're giving so much of yourself to please them, to please your boss or your friends, but still your best wasn't good enough? How would you feel if a simple mistake marred the friendship that you built? There are so many how would's that can be added to this list. Certainly, our initial reactions may be annoyed, irritated, frustrated, disturbed, or even angry. Or maybe to some matured persons, they took this lightly, knowing that God is sovereign. But let's have a pause. Have you ever thought of these things as are just interruptions from God? Let's be honest, that sometimes we are focusing so much on a thing that we neglect some other significant things, up to the point that we even forget about God. We do things that give satisfaction to our needs, on what we want for some selfish reasons, but still we profess that we are Christians and that we worship every Sunday with fellow believers. I strongly believe in divine interruptions. Sometimes we are not aware, but God is just interrupting us, like at this very moment. Let's take, for example, a church. Some churches are undergoing so many transitions. People come and go. Some church leaders move out for a higher calling, but certainly another leaders came out. This is called interruptions. In our church organizations, like the youth, the women, the men, the praise and worship team, and even church council and elders and pastors, there are times that you feel that the group members are beginning to have peculiarities. Personality differences arise that unknowingly create conflicts among the group. This can be another interruption. Think about it. Didn't it come to your mind that God might be interrupting us? And we need to be more sensitive to God's voice? What is God trying to tell us at this very moment, at this time, at this pandemic time? Why is God interrupting us? Do you remember Paul? His ministry was not very smooth. He underwent so many interruptions. How would you face an interruption like this? After knowing God and doing what he wants from him, he got imprisoned and will spend the rest of his life in jail. How about David and Jonathan? Do you remember them? They both underwent interruptions in friendship. But at the end, David was kind enough to prove his sincerity to Jonathan by helping his friend's family. How about Joseph, the dreamer? He underwent a severe interruption, but at the end, his family was reunited and lived a happy and abundant life. Of course, you remember Job. He remained faithful in spite of all the misfortunes in life. In your personal life, you may be encouraging so many trials, heartaches, pains, disappointments, struggles, pressures, pruning, and crushing. God is just interrupting you. Our God is preparing your heart and soul for a higher calling. Our God is molding your character into a Christ-like character. Always remember that Christ is already in you and Satan cannot snatch him away from you. Don't be discouraged when you are interrupted. That's the reality. So whenever you encounter problems in friendship, in church life, in the ministry, in your family, in your personal life, in the community, think of these things as interruptions from God. Listen to His voice, and once you heard His voice, harden not your heart, but trust Him, obey Him, and follow Him. God bless you, brothers and sisters. Till next time, hopefully. Bye for now.